This is your daily market review for Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Let's go.
Hey everyone, this is my channel to help investors and traders develop a probability-based mindset to succeed. Also try and keep friends informed of what's going on in the markets and the economy, and also a little real estate content as well. This is Dan Max at eXp Realty, aka The Trading Agent. This is your daily market recap for Tuesday, January 24th, 2023. Hopefully you're having a great day. Interesting market action. Not surprised that we chopped around. I thought turnaround Tuesday would be a little more turnaround-ish. But as you know, Microsoft after hours, potentially Tesla coming up. A lot of things going on that could hold the market up. Feels like the first mouse, as my friend here, Acoustic, says, first mouse gets the trap. I think a lot of people who bought potentially into the close with Microsoft, trying to anticipate it. Now again, Microsoft, we'll talk about that as we get there, up after hours. Feels very trappish. When I say trappish, we'll take a look at the SPY. I'll show you guys what I'm thinking, what I'm kind of anticipating, and we'll see. I know the market is meant to take the most amount of money from the most amount of people, hence why I try to be thoughtful of all the conditions. Something that, you know, again, I'm not trying to forecast things without evidence, but I've had this weird feeling this afternoon at the close, kind of like Livermore, and I don't know, you know, people who trade long enough have these like subconscious thoughts where, you know, they analyze evidence and sometimes they just don't know why they believe something is going to happen. Again, do you act on it? Not necessarily, but you feel something is off in the force, the Jedi force. Something is off. I don't know if there's a trap coming. Maybe it's a bolt. Maybe it's a bear trap. Something feels off about the recent action. It was very limited. I mean, it's funny when I look at my screens today, I saw a lot of red, but a few things green. I know the market was down slightly, but it didn't really look that good. And we'll talk about everything why. So if you have questions, and again, I'm going to try to open up the Discord room. Hit me up if you want to get in. As I said, and I say it over, the room is not meant for people who are lazy, looking for easy answers, trying to score home runs and get rich quick. It's more of a room to build the understanding, the emotional, psychological intelligence, because that is the key. Now, everybody can have different edges, and everybody can trade in their own different ways. No one's going to say that there's one way to, you know, boil a peanut, whatever you want to call it, slice it. But however, the emotional capital / mental side of this is the key to survival. And that's where I like to get people who are looking for this edge, who are willing to do the 1% every day to do something to get a little better and a little better and a little better. And as you guys know, 1 degree in a different direction over time leads you to success. And those are the things that we try to really harp on. We talk about some of the trades we're into. Love trying to anticipate the market as we usually do with a high probability rate. But again, being wrong, it happens. So with this, if you're newer to the channel and you want to just following in general, hit me up on Twitter. The messages, that's where I usually respond. I'm also posting my thoughts and ideas. It's interesting, Microsoft after hours, yep, hit its 200 day. And we'll talk about all this stuff. And say you're newer to trading, you're like, I like the way you're talking. I like your thought process. I appreciate how you're trying to be thoughtful in a sense of you're not a gambling mentality. You're trying to grow a sense of how to get rich and sustain it. Because everybody tries to get rich trading. It's all or nothing, which is kind of sad. It's you go big or you go broke. And it's not how you sustain wealth. Do you want to work for 3 years, save money, and then trade it and blow it all? Or do you want to be smart and learn? Here's the channel for learning all the stuff that you need and more. Again, if you watch all this stuff and you're confident that you need a little more help and you're ready, hit me up. Let's talk, because I appreciate that, because that's what my mentors did. They made me earn it. They didn't just say, oh, show up here, we'll give you all the information, because it's the same thing. Like, pretty sure Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, I mean, any of your favorite sports athlete, anybody is willing to share information and guide someone, but they don't want to like push somebody, right? I don't want to push anybody. Either you want it or you don't. And if you don't, that's okay. So let's get into a Bitcoin multi-day range. Tight action. Holding here around the 22,930 level. Tough to tell. High and tight necessarily is not bearish, but you need to start. You got a multi-day range. And you know what we say about multi-day ranges. You need to go. And you can't really know until they go, right? It's one of those things where same thing, you had a multi-day range here. You need to see the confirmation. Oil. This is another anomaly. that I saw today. Because again, if the market's looking great and things are getting better, oil just pulled a left-right combo on the daily. Well, does every left-right combo turn into a smash? No, not necessarily. Again, they're usually at bigger inflection points like this. You can see that left-right combo turn down, but slightly higher high. I mean, I think you could argue. I know. Let's just argue. I mean, that you could argue we're like in this little channeling up action, right? Right, Dan? Yeah, of course. You're talking to yourself again. Yeah. Ugh, that's ugly monkey. Y'all ever seen the movie Congo? That's kind of what it look like we're doing. We're just kind of kicking our way up. It's an old trend line. I need to stretch that across. Yeah. We broke this downtrend, so let's I don't want to remove all drawings. Just this one. Thank you. So let's see what happens here. I mean, it's tough to know, right? We've talked about the biggest problem the Feds are going to have is controlling oil and gas prices. And maybe not so. I mean, they're doing a pretty good job on gas, but there's really no plan to like increase oil production and get the supply up. So you're going to have to crush demand, and to crush demand, recession. We'll see what happens. And I mean, we're in a recession. It's just whether the market thinks it's going to get worse, and the Feds are going to have to do what? Pump the rates. Just got done from the gym. Great pump. Feel good. Time to do charts. Yeah. So nat gas. Speaking of, hopefully pumping. I know a few of y'all are taking. Is it a gamble at this point? Yes, but it's calculated. I get it. You don't go straight line smash without some sort of reverberation. Let's keep an eye on it. Now, UNG is just the problem. UNG is not what I like. Remember, we talked about because it decays, but I mean, is it the only option? Speaking of waiting for the pump, Arnold, the dollar under the trend line at the 50% fib, little baby trap, trap. Yeah, right there. Let's see what happens. And this is the thing I think that's so hard about trading. Everyone's like, has to happen on the first day. Has to happen right now. I'm getting in the trade. It's happening right now. Nope, you don't leave yourself time, and then it takes time to play out. It's going to be this little game down here, right? This little game here to pop. We don't know. Personally think, obviously our economy is slowing. People are talking like China reopening. Oh, their currency is going to go higher. I don't know about all them apples. People are getting real excited about oil, gas, materials, and it's like they don't really look that good. And so that's one of the things I'm a little concerned about. Man, futures are starting to peel a little bit after hours. No, not surprised. Again, the spidey sense. I don't know why. Subconscious, if you do something long enough, you have these feelings. And again, this is probably the only first time I've ever talked about it on air or in a recording that I just have a suspicion, small suspicion. TLT. Is the TLT going to rise? Bond rates drop in the recession full blown? Tough to know. I mean, now we've seen the rates come down. TLT up. Is it going to continue? I struggle with this because I really want to see rates go way down so I can buy a rental property on the cheap with low interest rates. It just might not be until the Feds pivot. Well, they're not really they're still expecting 3 rate hikes. Correct me if I'm wrong this year, which 3 of them would be, they don't do one every meeting. They typically do one every other meeting. So if you got February, April, June, July, summer, we're thinking summertime fun, right? Summertime fun time. So TLT, hey, remember, the bond market's way ahead of the Feds, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, they're going to start potentially not raise as much. Oh, the recession's coming. Yep. Now what? We're at this inflection zone. Lower highs, higher lows. Pennant, is that a word? No, probably not. Pennant. And I always like to use the, what was it, Raiders of the Lost Ark? The Sean Connery. He's like, the penitent man will pass. The penitent. He's like yelling. He's got shot, and he's hoping Harrison Ford gets his holy water. And yeah. So we'll see. You have to be penitent, patient. I think this is the same, right? Same kind of thing. Maybe worthy. Again, I'm a math person, not an English major at all. I can speak, but I don't know. I actually know Spanish grammar better, actually, which is kind of sad. Yeah, it's what happens when you grow up in North Carolina. Educational system. Public schools. Yeah, here you go. Just let it play out. I don't really have a 100% feel on what's next. That's the problem. The VIX compression. And again, remember up here. Go watch the old videos in October. Remember up here, It's like, if this double top fails, the VIX is coming back down. Oh, and we did. Well, now you take out the lows, and now we're chopping. I'm telling you, something just feels off. Now, I know bulls, again, are just blind to this, and there's people saying, well, the market's selling volatility to go higher. They're all hedged. They're going to push up. There's no reason to buy puts. I don't know how in the world someone can feel confident that that's true. I mean, again, I have banking contacts. I know people. But can you ever be hedged enough in a bear market? I don't know. That's how I've always looked at it. Like, if you think the market's going to tank and you're holding assets, do you want to not hedge more? Or are you going to unload? Because this is the hardest thing about trading, right, is the opportunity cost. I have this conversation all the time with beginners, and they're like, oh, I'm going to hold AMC and just wait and see. No, you're an idiot for holding AMC. Because while you're holding AMC, there's probably 100 other trades that if you're honest with yourself, you go, damn, I would have taken that on that day, and I would have taken that last week, and I would have taken that last month. No, you're holding the same loser. Well, how's that relate to this? Well, okay, at some point, like, all these folks are, like, super excited about the market going higher, new bull market. I mean, do y'all remember the new bull market starting in August? We called that. Remember, I've been telling you guys it was going to chop, and I thought we were going to have... at first, I thought it would be one touch. We got the bounce, and I said, ooh, we might have to come back down and play this game into the end of the year because, again, you had the capitulation in the fourth quarter for end of year. Like, people just gave up. And so that's where you had this, like, nice little chopping up market. Now you're at a point in the market where let's check out the SPY, right? Check it out. You're back at the trend line. You're at the 0.618 from this down move. Everybody's getting bullish again, and here's the problem, right? Kind of looks like the TLT slightly. We'll just keep that in mind. But everybody's bullish again. And it's amazing to look at this chart because, if I step back and didn't know anything about sentiment, I'd be like, man, it's probably not that strong of a bullish sentiment. But for some reason, the media, as we know, as you guys love, we talk about this, Anna Cooling's, Robert Nyquist rules from Anna Cooling's book. The media is going to pump when it's time to dump. And then when it's time to buy, they're going to tell you it's time to die. Get out. So at this point, over the 200-day, we've seen this game before. I mean, earnings is coming out, right? And how bad? I mean, companies are rallying on layoffs. Companies are rallying on bad news. How sustainable is that? You have to remember that. It's not. And what the market is worried, keep in mind, when the Feds pivot, the market actually tanks. It runs up into it or chops into it. And that's kind of what we're talking about. Like, I don't see a Fed pivot. I think, if anything, they're screwed. Because we all know inflation is anchored. And so this is going to be a hard market to trade. Directionally, you're going to have to be flexible when you're feeling excited and we talk about, like, from channel to channel. Remember how, everyone's giving up. Oh, keep going. All right, it's good. Boom. Knocked out. Boom. Goes. Okay, down here. Think it might come back up. Here you go. And people are like, why would you see that? Well, we talked about, like, these reoccurring patterns, right? Like, flip this over. Breaks out of the channel, makes lower highs or higher lows, then goes. Breaks out of the channel, making higher lows. I mean, just flip that on top of itself. Looks very similar. We'll see what happens. Because remember, when a channel becomes obvious, here's the hardest thing. Everybody knows it, and that sometimes can create trappish conditions. I'll leave it on that. That's a good rant. Qs. Trash leads. We've talked about this. The trash is tech. If you don't believe me, tech is going to be trash. I don't know. Go watch the previous video. I mean, I hate I don't want to have another 50-minute video. Here you go. Up against the trend line. Maybe the 200-day, maybe the 50% fib. Tech is junk. Tech is junk. I mean, go look at Texas Instruments earnings. They're guiding down. Everyone. Inventory. Keep in mind, inflation is bad for tech. Tech is deflationary. Remember that plasma screen that was $5,000? That now is $500. Well, tech is innovative to do what? Create deflation. Well, here, what's the problem? Well, inputs are rising in cost. Bad for tech. Margins compression. They have to literally sell at massive discounts to move product. Not good. With higher interest or higher inputs, not good. Not good at all. IWM, talk about lagging. Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, technically, you could say it's equal weight. It's holding up, right? Holding. You need to see it break out to really confirm. Remember the DIA we've talked about? This has been lagging. Well, a lot of it has to probably do with financials and Goldman and certain stocks. But man, this thing peaked in November. Making lower highs. Red alert. Red alert. Keep an eye on it. Gold. Oh man, I'm getting a lot of haters on this. I mean, again, I'm still in it. I mean, I've got some puts that are probably gonna expire junkless or what, but it's one of those things where I look at it like this: the risk reward, the mentality of everybody who's getting excited. Now the thing is, they're acting like the Feds are gonna pivot. Wrong. My now thought process on gold going forward: second quarter is gonna be crap. It's probably gonna be volatile. Gold, if it goes in a straight line up, that would not make sense to me. You're like, what the heck did you what'd you say, boy? Why? Because we're not at the point where the Feds are going to pivot. Now, I'm not saying gold's tanking at the moment. I think it could be a big monster trading range. That makes sense to me. Because again, for it to break out right now, retail is getting rich. When's retail ever going to get rich? Sorry. This is just a big consolidation pattern. And either it fails here or it's going back up to this red line. And if it breaks out, that would be the anomaly. Because again, think about it. If you go from, I say this all the time, if you go from range lows to range highs and you don't consolidate, that's a problem. And this has happened many times. Here's your range highs coming in, pulls back. You go straight line, pulls back. Right? Straight line, pulls back. Well, now you're doing the straight line thing again. We're filling the gaps. We're at some major resistance. Now, if it fails, people are going to scream, head and shoulders top. Look out below. Okay. Damn, futures. What's going on over there? I didn't miss something. I'll have to check it out. Silver. Well, what is silver doing? It doesn't look like it's leading anymore. Remember, for many months. Oh, yeah, here you go. Microsoft is finally in their meeting and guiding, right? Hold on, give me 2 seconds. I'm just curious. I'm reading some of the market notes on briefing. Yeah, guiding down. Imagine that. Who would have seen it? Yeah, it was up $11, down 3. If y'all recognize that laugh. So, anyway, yeah, here you go. Drew's posted at Microsoft Q3 product sales did be 16 billion, 17. Yeah, guide down. Fork down growth, OPEX growth, the slow commercial business rest of the full year. Not good. Who remember, again, if you're in the Discord room, let me post this. Let me go, because again, every once in a while, I like to toot my own horn. Where did I say it? When I posted Microsoft stuff. Whatever. I said Microsoft, don't be surprised. They beat their expectations and they guide down for the next quarter and the rest of the year. Potentially remove all their guidance forward, and stock will chop and then flop later on. Well, it popped. Again, we didn't short after hours, but your boys got spidey sense sometimes. Now, again, you do this long enough, you're going to have this as well. And I hope to God that you tell me sometimes when I'm off and you're like, dude, I don't think so. You're not dialed in perfectly. I am to try not to have an ego. SLV, again, not lagging. You would think if gold's gonna break out, where the hell is silver? High ho silver below. It's not how the saying goes. GDX bought some more dusty bottoms today. You know what that reference is. Again, a lot of movie references in this channel. Three Amigos. Retesting. Okay. Okay. GDX should be breaking out, right? Junior should be leading. Oof. Right on the cusp. Maybe, but the volume, again, feels a little distributive. We'll see. Again, either way, this is the thing about gold and the miners. It's real binary here. You're either right or you're not. It's very simple. You've got great reference points. And again, if I show you some of the intraday channels charts, I think you're seeing the fibs line up. AG, this is a silver stock. What is it doing down here? Doesn't make sense. AEM makes a new high today, right? We'll see. I'm trying to look back at some of these, and they do this, right? Like, they look very bullish at the highs. Where's the last one? There you go. Kind of starts going. Will it peel like an onion? We'll see. Again, I'm drawing. People say, oh, you're just reaching for straws here. You're just trying to create a narrative. We'll see. I mean, you can't argue that. That's why I'm not short that one. However, we talked about shorting Newmont. Shout out to Jay Solstice. Today's candle. What a joke. Again, it closed at the 200-day. This looks like crap. AEM, not shorting. Newmont, I get it. Remember, Newmont, Newmont, Barrick, all the big dogs in the shitty walk. GDX. All right, here you go, PAAS. Again, we'll see. We're at inflection points. AMD gets 17 upgrades yesterday, gets 5 downgrades today. I pointed this out yesterday, and nobody said anything to me today. Not a single person. So I know how many of y'all are watching the recaps. Only a couple of y'all, and that's fine. Whatever. I said, watch what happens here. It usually has like this big green day, and then it has an inside day. Again, please leave a comment below, throw a like, hit me up if you remember me saying that yesterday, because I was like, watch out with AMD, because it typically does that. It gets a buddy pass. Remember the Goldman buddy pass we talked about? Again, if you've been around, you know, Goldman upgraded it right before it dumped. Now, again, I'm not saying AMD is going to zero, but if you study the historical, in the history of this chart, check this out. AMD, again, semiconductors, when everything's great, they're great. They have monumental dump. It has monumental dumps. So I'm not saying it has to go back to $3 or $2 like it did in the past, but you better be careful. Wear a diaper. NVIDIA, here we go. Talked about these levels. If you shorted today, golf clap. We'll see. I mean, again, when it comes to trading, you take you take your mind and your wants and your beliefs out, and you say, well, this is a spot that's important. If I'm wrong, I'm gone. If it's right, it's going to be huge. Well, that's what you do. It looks shortable. Added some Soxes today. It makes sense. AMD, I told you, look at this. Dang it. Look at this. Look at this crap. Oh, man, why don't I have it come? I drew this yesterday. I mean, good enough. Whatever. Give me. We're up against the range bound highs. Is SMH going to break out? I just don't. I mean, if it is, it's temporary. Don't trust it. TSM, you got to love this candle. Whoa! No, that's it. Remember all the. I hope they update the charts because these are just misprints. But again, holds up at the highs, hits the next poop deck essentially on the upward route of trading on this thing that I think is going to flop out at some point. Keep an eye on it because again, I think Taiwan Semi is going to be one of the biggest culprits of problems. Think about why, right? If there's any geopolitical issues, these guys are also in the chips and everything. Nobody, again, just keep an eye on it. SMH, yeah, I looked at this. Check that out. All right, Adobes. We talked about this one going nowhere. Now, a lot of these names woke up and hit the 200-day. We said, watch out. Fills the gap. Watch 200. Okay, see what happens. Apple, the fruit. We talked about this one today. Put out some ideas. Said, hey, watch what happens when it retests the highs. Now, you're so close for the 100-day in 0.382. Could it short arm it? Do you know what short arming is? It's when you think something's going to get to a particular spot and it doesn't. That's very frustrating. It happens occasionally. That's why people are like, oh, you're usually early. Because I've literally been caught in short arms. Here, you want me to talk about a reference on one? Give me 2 seconds. Go back in the time machine. Where was it? Come on. 200-day catch-up. It was one of these moving averages. Why is the 200-day just doing it? It's like 200-day stuck. Come on. All right. It was with the SPY, and I was, or was the Qs? I can't remember. I was like waiting for 50 cents to short, and I didn't get it. And it was like, watched. And it was like, you know, that meme where Harry Potter's getting on the train, he's waving his kids or his family goodbye. That was like my trade being waved goodbye, missing it. So Apple, back to what I was saying. Watch what happens up here. Amazon, again, we took the profits on this. We'll see what happens with their earnings. If you remember, we talk about the easy money. Oh, Dan, why do you take more money the more you're up? Because then sometimes things chop and they give you opportunities to what? Reload, watch what happens. Because the straight line moves typically get what sold. I mean, this is doggy doo-doo. However, they have some interesting issues with ChatGPT. I just don't know how much that really trickles down the bottom line. This CRM move, that is not good. That is a gap with a hammer, big volume. And then look at this freaking gravelstone doji. I mean, it's like an arrow pointing down. People go, oh, it's green. Green or red. Who gives a crap? Open at the low, closed at the low. And the high, and from the low from the high is what? Or the open to the close is what? A nickel or something stupid? Right? I mean, I can't, whatever. 20 cents. Who knows? Keep an eye on it. Guggenheim getting sued. Yeah, all right, that's a lower high breaking over the trend. Now, remember, we talk about sometimes trend lines breaking over them. You got to confirm it. You got to confirm it. That doesn't look that good. Confirmation bias? No, got to confirm it. Meta, screw this thing. Watch this area. I know we got some trades on this, trying to be patient. I know they got their earnings coming up. This thing has gone from 87 to 1. This thing is a dog. You know, think of nasty dog, if you know what I'm talking about. Snoop Dogg, yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. We'll see. I mean, it's still trading at 17 times earnings with what? Negative growth, firing people, no sustainable like advantage long term. It's freaking meta. Facebook, Oculus. Oh, they're good. Everyone's gonna get on virtual reality. People are struggling in real reality. Let's figure that out first. If we could plug everyone in the matrix. Microsoft, as we said, what? Thought it would probably hold up, chop into the what? Earnings. Here comes earnings, and what did they do? They popped on the numbers, then they have to explain themselves. Timber, look out below. Now someone's asking, hey, shouldn't you have higher volume? Well, again, remember the volumes are going to be a little lighter after hours. There's not as many participants, right? Interesting to watch. We'll see what happens here. Because if you saw, we talked about the 200-day. Think about what it got to. 254, 255, whatever. Got there. Close enough for government work. Why is the 200-day? Come on, man. Do I have to buy? All right, there you go. 200-day been real important. If you see a 200-day tag on Microsoft, Mr. Softy, I would think you need to take a shout. What did you say? A shout. Take that shout. NDAQ. Why? Why can't you just go? I want to short you. I want to short you because everybody knows and the tech war is over, meaning that they're dead. Tech is dead. The volumes are going to dry up on the NDAQ. So let's see what happens today. I mean, if you're already shorted, man, hell of a trade. You're winning it. You're winning it. You're just hanging out. MicroStrategy, I mean, it goes from what, 137 up to trash floats last. We'll see what happens. If it gets to 260s, 270s, that could be an epic short. And again, this thing could just be in a trading range. People don't realize like stocks like this just become trading vehicles. They don't have any momentum. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. They go nowhere. And then you wake up and it's, I mean, this, man, do people even remember? Look at this in 2000. I always laugh at this. They go up, they go down. They go up, they go down. They go nowhere. Oh, it's too funny. Netflix, grinding my teeth. So annoyed with this one. It's like, come on, will you just die? You're paying $258 per consumer. That's coming on. With endless competition in the streaming online space. Come on, Netflix, what is their video? What Wednesday is the best show they got? Get up out of here. Come on, man. That ain't a series of drivers. Like, people aren't signing up to watch a freaking Addams Family show. Now, again, I watched it, thought it was great, actually. Irony. Wife liked it. But is that really drawing new eyeballs? Is it making Netflix so much? I mean, it's like Apple TV. Who has Apple TV? Does everyone have Disney? Again, how many of the, but at some point, you might as well buy cable because you got to buy all these stupid packages. And so people, what are they going to cut? To me, I have my biases because I think Netflix is trash. We'll see. Roblox, I could be wrong. Let's just always drop that. So, oh, hello. Waiting on a inspection objection. This is obviously gosh darn it. Either way, it looks like it's done. It looks like it's done. Good old Tesla, Elon Musk tomorrow. I mean, are they going to beat and guide up? Probably not. Probably not, right? Probably not. Why? I mean, think about it. They're cutting everything. Cutting production. Now, again, they're going to open up the Texas one, I think, soon, right? Right? Correct, right? I don't know. However, just be thoughtful, right? It's one of those things where I struggle with this one. Microsoft prediction correct. I don't think... Okay, I'm going to have to do a rant on this one because I think it's not that easy. This stock is going to be waterlogged. You saw that MicroStrategy from 2000? Well, this is your MicroStrategy. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be electric cars. What I'm saying is you're going to be stuck. You're going to be in a trading range. So if you like Tesla, you better learn to trade Tesla. It's like people who buy AMC and GameStop. They're like, oh, I love this stock. Well, the ones who love it actually trade it. The people who just hold it, there's no love. So at this point, yeah, that looks a little bit of capitulatory. But the damn thing's run up 50% almost. Up into earnings. We'll see. Bad news is good news. Good news is bad news. We'll see. Do you want to hold into earnings and roll the dice? I absolutely don't, because you could see pain. Well, you could see pleasure. I don't know, for his or hers. Letter X. Damn, you're going slow. But this stuff is, I mean, there's a lot going on. Holding up at the highs again. I would think materials would be lifting off. They're not. Nucor. Well, actually, these last few, it's very easy because they all confirm it. Whoa, look at that bearish engulfing. No, that's a misprint. Please fix the charts, Q charts, because this is crap. Look where it closed. Not really leading. VALE. It keeps getting stuck in this mid-18s right there. If the dollar's about to dump, it's going to fly. If it doesn't, that thing could get smoked. If you want to go long dollar, short VALE, they kind of work together at times. Tight, high and tight, arrow holding up. CCJ, uranium folks, buzzing with excitement. Bzz. We'll see. I mean, we talked about holding here. I mean, you've got some upside coming. I mean, personally, keep an eye on it. I mean, not every sector is easy to predict. Again, I don't want to sit here and pretend I'm Jim Cramer and go every day, I know what's going to happen with that stock. I know what's up with that. No. I do know what's going to happen with CF, though. Come to daddy in the 80s. Maybe the 80 era, maybe, God forbid, fill the gap. We talked about these names should be fire. Mosaic. Remember, it's just money's God, look at these stupid candles. Holding up here. If you bought it down here and you great trade today. Nice work. We told you. Who didn't get the alarm? Buy the stock at 40, 30. Just kidding. Tough to know with these candles. Again, you would think they'd be lifting off. Like NTR here. Please don't have it. Yeah. These stocks would be making moves. So, anyway, at this point, AA. Again, these material names, it's tough to know for sure. We talked about taking profits like sand, trying to grip it and grab it hard. Well, you lost it if you didn't take it. And now you're backing up. You filled the gap today. I saw that and was like, I'm not going to do anything. But interesting that as soon as I saw it, looked away, boom, fills the gap, comes right back down. XLF, financials are lagging. Again, if you've gotten this far in the video, please take notes. Look at this. We talked about it. Leading up, now lagging. JP Morgan. Up and down. Now, again, I don't know about the misprints here, but doesn't seem to be doing that great. Right, Morgan Stanley. I saw this morning. I was like, holy crap, it's down $8. I was like, that's good for the financial shorts that we got with FAS. No, but it closed up near the high. Now, here you go. You hit the channel high and backing off. Where's old Goldman Schlacks? You schlacker. Doesn't really look that good. It looks very distributed. That looks like the backside of the lower hill. So, financials, not that great. XBI, back up near the range. Highs, can you need FC follow-through to confirm it? I don't know. Good old solar, the easiest short as there is. Now, again, here we go. Solar, on fire. Not so much lately. Here, holding high and tight. ENPH, everybody's favorite. Talked about it bouncing, but it was dog crap. It's like, did you glitch, Dan? I'm just like laughing. All right, doesn't look strong. Sedgerton, been acting a little better. Comes back and kind of stuck. We'll see. Good old First Solar. Dog. We talked about that being the blow off. Now we talk about getting over spots and failing. Here you go. Now we retest. Now again, did I think we'd get right back up to 175? That was pretty damn quick. If you did and you took it and you added the shorts and you traded around your positions, that's how you freaking do it. Because then if this thing does peel like an onion with a lower high and everybody starts crying from the onion smell or the onion in the air, cry. This thing could get smoked. Put that in the smoker. All right, let's try to wrap it up. Oil. Again, things you don't see if the market's about to take off, right? Like, it's like, doesn't look that good. UNG, for the love of God. Take your nickel or dime every time you trade it and walk away. It's tough. We'll see. I mean, nat gas, remember, this chart is busted. It should rise, but is there better ways to play it? Maybe through futures, other products. XOP. Yay, caramba. We talked about this being a little gap, watching what happens up here. Under the impression that you're got some volume. And that volume might not be in your favor for your bull. Just keep that in mind. Oil and gas start rolling over. You better start trashing it. Gosh, ExxonMobil. I saw this today. Holds up. Again, we talked about retesting the highs. That's not necessarily bullish. Keep an eye on it. PX Dizzle down a couple points today. Again, making lower highs. Indecision. It's not confirmed 100%, but if you were shorting this stuff, it makes absolute sense. Oxy. God, I wonder if Buffett like closed all his covered calls this morning. Genius. We'll see what happens here. I mean, that's hard to say. I mean, it closed at the 200 day, but it didn't think about this, though. It did gap down and did not close strong. I know that looks like a busted-ass chart, but it did not close strong. EQT, as we do, we like to end here. 20-day. This, I mean, again, they couldn't trade out of a, trade their way out of a paper bag, wet paper bag. I guess that's not what you're supposed to say. Punch your way out of one, right? Either way, holding down here. Don't know. I appreciate all the love and support. Donations are always appreciated. Let me help you if I can, and you want it. I mean, that's part of the game. Interesting checking out some of the other boards, and again, trying to expand my follow on Discord because I like Discord. I really hate perusing through stock twits to try to get an idea of sentiment. If you think I am taking advantage of your room because I watch the videos, or watch the room to try to get a gauge on sentiment, I will teach you why that's important if you're unsure, because sentiment is very important because there's a certain class of traders that always lose. And when you can identify those kind of people and you just put them in your back pocket, it's like a friend from the past. You can just give them a call and you always can catch up and know how things are going. Well, when these people are extremely bullish and they're calling you, texting you, or they're posting tremendously and they feel great, you gotta like have this recurring thing. Like, they are the target of the market makers. They're the ones who usually lose. And so, at some point, if they're winning, it's temporary. And then when they're losing and giving up and puking again, like, the world's going to end, it's probably time to buy. All right. If you have any questions, please stop by. Remember, the future goal, 10 properties, 10 years this year. I'm telling you, make enough money, put it away. And if you need to move and turn your primary into a rental, let me know. Not rocket science. I'm telling you right now, even if the market goes sideways, by buying another house, it's like having another 401k. You're investing a small amount of money if it needs repairs, but you're having someone pay the mortgage. And over time, what happens to housing if it's in a good area? It always appreciates. And inflation, always people need a place to live. I just bark that, and people just don't even think about that. And it's like if the prices of the house go down and people aren't buying, they're renting. If they're not renting, that means house prices are going up. It's not rocket science. All right, I'll end that rant. Again, appreciate everybody. Great day in the sense of maybe not so much in overall trading gains, but seeing evidence that maybe the market might be getting a little, está cansado? Yeah, exactly. Talk to you later.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, stop by the Discord room. A link is in the description below. Also, if you'd like to help support more free content, the PayPal link is in the description as well. I appreciate your continued support of the channel.